Hi Testwood, my name's Scott. I'm part of the youth team here at Testwood Baptist Church. We've absolutely loved getting to know lots of you at our TBC Fridays groups this term. I'm sure you guys are really looking forward to break-in for Christmas, but I really hope you don't do what I did recently and lose someone's present before you wrapped it. I literally did this last week when I lost one of my wife's presents before I've even got a chance to wrap it. And it got me thinking, are you someone who loses things? Keys? Wallet? Phone, maybe? How are you like at finding things? Well, I wonder if you could help me out with a little game. All you got to do is find the present. How about here in this stadium? Any sports fans? Can you see the present? It's here, just by the corner flag. How about here at the shopping centre? I wonder how your Christmas shopping's going. Can you see the present? There it is, just inside Topshop. How about a couple more? Can you see it here in the New Forest? There it is, just up that tree. And finally, what about here in our building at Testwood? This is what it looked like for our TBC Fridays Christmas youth groups last week. Can you see the present? Of course, there it is at the start of the obstacle course. Well, I wonder where you would go to find a king. Maybe a palace or a castle, perhaps? Well, when we think about the Christmas story, about Jesus being born, which I'm sure you've all heard about in some way at some point in your life, we actually think about a king coming to the world. Pontius Pilate, who was a real man in history, who held the trial for Jesus just before he died on the cross, he said this about Jesus. He said, "You are a king." That's in the book of John, one of the historical accounts of Jesus' life in the Bible. So when Mary and Joseph, who by the way weren't in any way royal, went to have their baby, and the shepherds and the magi, that's what the Bible calls the wise men, came to visit this new baby king, did they find him in a palace or a castle or a temple or even a stadium? Well, no. They didn't even find him in Topshop or in a church. They found him in a sheep shed, in a stable, in a backyard. Now, why on earth is this king, God's king of the world, being born in a stable? Well, the truth is, yes, Jesus came as a king, he grew up as a king, he died as a king, and he rose to life as the king of the world. But not once did he boast about that or assert himself over others. There's a wonderful set of verses in the New Testament, in the Bible, in the book of Philippians, that says this: Jesus, who being in very nature God, that means that he was God himself, didn't consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant. So Jesus, this baby king, God himself, who, yes, exists eternally, but came to be born as a human child, actually came to serve, actually came to model how to live life best. And I think that's amazing. And this is what I want to leave you guys with today. One of the historical accounts of Jesus' life in the Bible, they're called the Gospels, was written by a guy called Luke. Now, Luke was a doctor and a scientist, and he loved attention to detail. And when he records the angel appearing to the shepherds to tell them about Jesus being born, this is what he records the angel said. He said, "I bring you good news of great joy for all people." So Jesus being born on that first Christmas, coming to this broken world full of disaster and pain, well, he came to bring good news. Good news that he will end all of that pain and suffering, and that we can live with him if we choose to. Secondly, great joy. Jesus coming into this world is something to rejoice about because of the good news that he brings. And thirdly, it's for all people. It doesn't matter who you are or what your background is or what your past looks like, or how often you think you mess up, the hope of Jesus is for everyone. And I pray this Christmas that as you spend time with friends and family, opening presents and having a really good time, you might remember that the hope that Jesus brings is for everyone, including you. Merry Christmas. See you soon.